Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. But if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. We are looking at AMD. We closed at 207.58. As you can see, we had some downside activity here down to the 203.79. Y'all see how I just marked that level? Why? Because price gathered in this area for a reason. So I need to remember that because strong possibility. We're going to come back to this area again. Not saying it's going to happen today. Just know support and resistance, right? So where are the trouble places for AMD? It looks as if we've been getting rejected here at this 207.67, breaking this, that is the 50 EMA, ATR trailing stop, and a level that we have marked here. So this could be a strong resistance area, that 207.67. However, breaking that, we could possibly have trouble again, 208.36. And should we break that, 209.74, breaking that for AMD, 210.34. 211.01 and breaking that 211.96. Should we break that 212.48, we could possibly have trouble again at that 200 EMA if you're using the EMAs or moving averages as a level, let's say level of support and resistance. It is possible, right? Breaking that 213.13. So this could be another strong area of resistance, in my opinion, for AMD, that 213 area. However, breaking that, the next level is 214.17. Those are possible areas of resistance. Now back to the downside, I'm going to mark a level here. Why? Because price gathered here, here, and here before we moved up here. So coming back to the downside, let's say we break under the 206.20. We could very well come back down to the 204.88 and breaking that back to 203.79, breaking that 203.79 for AMD, possibly 202.90 could be a support area for us, and breaking the 202.90, keep in mind we could very well come back to the 201.54. And again, I look at support and resistance on a smaller scale. Why? Because when I'm in the trade, I kind of want to know where my possible trouble places are. Let's say that, right? So we are now looking at Meta. We close at 647.51, and as you can see, this is our gathering spot here. Price gathered in this area, 639.97. We came up to a level we knew we could possibly have trouble around that 645.83 area. Not far from the ATR trailing stop. So should we break this, let's say that 645.83, we could possibly have trouble again here at the ATR trailing stop around 646.77. 646.99, and then breaking that, we could possibly have trouble with that 200 EMA, 647.52. So this could be a strong area of resistance for Meta. Again, not financial advice. Breaking that 647.52, possibly have trouble again, 648.05. And should we break that for Meta, the next level around 650.02, and breaking the 650.02, possibly 651.55. And should we break that back up here again at the 653.01, which is kind of like in this area here. So if Meta is something that you trade, those are possible areas of resistance. Now breaking that 653.01 area, the next level is 654.04. So I would definitely, if Meta is something that you trade today, mark your levels of support and resistance. And you know, I say it often, once it goes against your why or your reason for getting in the trade, get out, right? So as of now, back to the downside, 644.99 is our support area here. Y'all see that is where our 5 EMA, 50 EMA, 20 EMA is. So there's a few layers of support down here for the, Meta. Now, what's interesting is this 20 EMA is right at a level that we have marked. I just love to see that, 643.31. So breaking that to the downside, possibly 642.60, breaking that 641.47, and breaking that 640.42. Should we break that 639.97 and under that 639.05. So those are possible areas of support and resistance for Meta. And I say it again, y'all mark your levels, and once it goes against your reason reason for getting in the trade, get out. So we are looking at NVIDIA. We closed at 176.29. NVIDIA is an inside day candle for today. Let's see where those levels are. Okay, so I'm going to go back. Let's go to, well, that didn't make it. Okay, so as of right now, if NVIDIA should break above 178.43, we have an upside target today of 181.8291 or 182.81. Now to the downside, under 175.01, downside target for NVIDIA today is 174.62. So if NVIDIA is something that you trade, I say it is an inside day candle, trade carefully, right? So now let's go look at those levels. And I do know that most of my charts are very congested, y'all. I do apologize for that. Again, I like to see where the trouble places are. So again, looking at NVIDIA, looks like we got rejected kind of close to a level we kind of knew, right? 177.13, the high of this candle here, 177.07, not very far away, right? So this is our area of resistance. We see that the body of the candle came under this level here, which is around the 176.89. We're having trouble in this area here, as here, and now here again, this candle has not closed, so we will need to break that 176.89, possibly have trouble 177.13, again at 177.26, 177.43, 177.59, 177.80, and 177.99. Those are possible areas of resistance. 178.25, and should we break that, that 200 EMA is right at the trigger to the upside for that inside day candle. That is interesting in my opinion. This could be a strong area of resistance that if we break that, we could very well possibly rephrase that, meet that target to the upside. So watching that 178.45, we could possibly have trouble again. 178.86, 179.16, 179.35, 179.51, and again here at 179.74. Those are possible areas of resistance for NVIDIA. Again, not financial advice. Now breaking under the 176.60, we can come back to 176.38, 176.16, 175.88, and y'all see it's right there at a level we have marked. If we took the moving averages off, we still would have kind of knew that it was in that area based on support and resistance. I love to see this, right? 175.88, should we break that? 175.47, and breaking that 175.22, should we break that 175.01, and breaking that 174.68. There's a few layers of support for NVIDIA down here where that target is. Keep in mind the ATR trailing stop, 1, 2, and 3 levels of support here, very close. So that could be a strong area of support, but keep in mind it kind of held us up right here in this area here, so that's not strange that it is, right? So if you're trading NVIDIA today, breaking under that 174.52 would be interesting because it means it's broken through a few layers of support. So I would say trade carefully. Now breaking under that 174.52, the next level I have is 174.18. So if NVIDIA is something that you trade, I say it often, y'all, trade carefully, mark your levels. Once it goes against your Y, get out. So we are looking at the SPY, and SPY has been interesting lately, right? So we closed at 680.73. Yesterday it seemed like I saw a flag at this area here, so I was kind of watching that, and we did come down as I kind of saw that we were doing, right? We bounced off of the 676.37 only to come back up to the ATR trailing stop at the 680.79. Looks like we're getting rejected in this area now. That 50 EMA, 5 EMA, and a level that we have marked here is kind of a support area. So we're trading in the resistance here and the support here. That's interesting. So let's look back to the upside. We need to break back above 680.79, possibly have trouble 681.35. Again here at 681.78 up to the 682.12. There's a few layers of resistance there for the SPY, and breaking that 682.73, y'all see it's right there where that 200 EMA, 682.84, very close. So there's a few layers of resistance. 682.96, 683.23, 683.75, 684.27, 684.88, 685.21, and 685.58. Those are possible areas of resistance. Now back to the downside again. This is a support area for a 679.95. Breaking that brings us back to the 679.23, 678.47, and breaking that brings us back to this area here, which is around the 678. Now breaking that 678 for the SPY, let's see, we can mark this level. Let's say, well, no, let's just leave that. I was going to say it's kind of like jumping. We could have marked, it's a price gathered in these areas here for a reason, right? So that's something to be mindful of. So let's just say the 678 down to the 676.99, and if we should break that, we could very well come back to the 675.89. The SPY is an inside day candle for today, and we have already broken through that downside trigger, which was the 679.23, and met that target of 679.16. Does that mean that we cannot continue declining? It does not. It just means that we've already broken through that to the downside, and we can very well bounce to the upside from there. So back to the upside, if we get back above the 685.76, upside target for the SPY today, 688.91. I need to say not financial advice. So if the SPY is something that you're trading today, I said often, y'all, trade carefully. Make sure you have the discipline to get in at the right time and out at the right time, right? So we are looking at Tesla. And I said often, y'all, Tesla does what Tesla does. We closed at 475.31. Yesterday, we made a high of 481.77, only to come back down to around this level of 466.05. Looks like we tried to bounce from there, but you see we got rejected right there at a level that we kind of knew we could possibly have trouble. I like to see that 473.42. So we need to get back above that. But look, it kind of, we had trouble there before, right? So if we need to get back above the 473.72, possibly have trouble 474.48 and breaking that 475.69. Should we break that, we can come back to the 478.61, have trouble there. And if we should break the 478.61, let's see, I possibly have trouble again. I'm going to mark this level here around the 681.13. Why? Something held us in this area or stopped us in that area. 481.13. And should we break that, 485.01 is possible for Tesla. I say anything is possible. So it has a few layers of support down here to the 20 EMA around the 471.21 here. Right now, breaking under that, y'all see the 50 EMA is right where we have a level marked at 469.82. Should we break that, 467.66? Tesla had a gap that needed to be filled at that area right here at the 467.66 down to the 463.01. Can it fill that gap today? Possibly. Anything is possible, right? So breaking under the 467.66, we could very well come back to the ATR trail and stop 465.65 and breaking that back to the 463.01, which will close that gap. I do believe it's from yesterday. Close that gap. And then we could break, breaking under that 462.14, 461.13, and again here at 459.86 and breaking that 459.07, and that is where our 200 EMA is. And should we break that, 458.24, 456.93, those are areas of support and resistance for Tesla. Again, not financial advice. I need to say that again, right? So, if you're trading today, I said often mark your levels, and once it goes against your reason for getting in the trade, get out so that you can live to trade another day, right? So this is what I say when I look at the market. It would not surprise me to see Tesla back at this 459 area here. It's 459.01 is the 200 EMA on this 30-minute chart, and 459.07 is the level that I have marked. So again, it would not surprise me to see us back in this area here for Tesla. Again, not financial advice. So I hope that everyone have a very, very productive day today. Again, if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. Until next time, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.